And if you are coming into this position and you want to do something different and you want to be the antithesis of these other
Girl, really?
Now, it looks like Amanda Seales has some prerequisites for Kamala Harris before she can support her presidency. Make sure y'all like the video and subscribe. Let's check this out.
First question to Kamala Harris would be, is this a racist country? That's my first question. It doesn't make sense for them to put Jasmine Crockett on a ticket. Why ask that question? Because it is the root of all evil in this country. And if you are coming into this position and you want to do something different and you want to be the antithesis of these other, then you need to already address the antithesis, because they are loudly saying not only is this country racist, it should be racist. Project 2025's ultimate ethos is that the country is weakened by equality. And that's not just by race, that's by gender. That is their ultimate ethos. So someone said that they want Michelle because of her proximity to her husband. What did her husband?
She said, what about her husband? Now, here's my thing about Amanda Seales. Obviously, she doesn't support Trump. I used to kind of get the vibe that she didn't really support Biden. I don't really pay attention to her that much, but I don't think she liked Trump. I don't think she liked Biden. And now you're kind of throwing some shade at Kamala Harris. I just would like to know, who does Amanda Seales like? Who does she support? Or is she just not voting at all? So if Kamala Harris doesn't pass your test, what is it going to be then? Are you going to try to write in somebody for you to vote for? Now, also, let's just go to what she said. She said she wants Kamala to admit that the country is racist. I don't think any political candidate can say that. And that's just because if you're in politics, you know that there is a large group of people in America that really hate anybody who brings up racism, because they feel like once you bring up racism, that it only goes to white people. Meaning, if you say the country is racist, you're only talking about white people. And that could hurt any political candidate, because then you immediately have a lot of white people upset because, you know, I think white people just hate the conversation of racism. Not all of them, but there's a lot. And if you really think about it, everybody in America is a little bit racist. We have to, I'm not going to say embrace our racism in the country, but it does play a major part in the country. But like I said, I guess whenever the conversation of race comes up, you know, Caucasian people feel like it's always directed towards them. When in actuality, you know, just like after 9/11, when people were going at anybody who was Middle Eastern, that was racist. You know, it's other forms of racism in the country. A while back, you had all of these Chinese businesses, whether it was nail salons or whatnot, being attacked. That's racism. So racism does it exists in the country, and it's not just about white versus black. But at the same time, you have to understand that this is a majority Caucasian country, and the conversation of racism just to them always feels like an attack towards white people. And if you're running for any type of political office, you don't want to come off as if you hate white people on your first day of the job. Okay, so Kamala Harris will not be saying that. Also, not to mention that Kamala Harris has a white husband, if I'm not mistaken, and the aesthetic of that is probably good for her candidacy or her presidency or running or whatever. I don't know the correct phrase to use, but I think that's going to be a plus for her when it comes to getting white votes. And she don't want to do anything to mess up, you know, just that whole little boost of support that she might be getting just because she's married to a white man. So like I said, she's not going to say anything that will alienate her from the white vote. And, you know, I'm not this guy that comes on YouTube and tries to make everything about white and black, but I do feel like that is a major elephant in the room in America, that the conversation of racism to a lot of white people always feels like a personal attack. So, nah, Kamala wouldn't ever say that, if you ask me. And the last thing I want to add is, do y'all feel like ever since people found out that Amanda Seales self-diagnosed herself with autism, has she lost a little bit of steam out there in just like the woke world or whatever kind of community that she's in? I feel like a lot of people stopped following her after some of that backlash from the Shannon Sharpe interview. I just want to know what y'all think about that, because remember, she was getting on Shannon Sharpe and she was talking about having autism, and then she admitted that a doctor never diagnosed her with that, and that she basically decided herself that's what she had. And a lot of people was like, hold on, wait a minute, that's not correct, that's not how it works. In her defense, she said it costs a lot to get that test, and she didn't feel like the money was worth spending because she knew that she had it, right? So y'all let me know what y'all think about that. I'm not going to get too deep into that can of worms. What do y'all think about Kamala Harris? What do y'all think about Biden dropping out? What do you think about Amanda Seales' comments? I'll see y'all next time. Peace.